Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another great episode of Tommy Maroon Sports Show right here on WCTV. It's always fun on here. But first, we're going to talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers because, well, the Cavs have had a very roller coaster-like season, up and down, up and down, up and down. Some guys like Evan Mobley right there has had himself a fine season, leads the Cavaliers with 10.5 blocks per game and, of course, 1.7 blocks per game and 10.5 boards per game. While other people like Donovan Mitchell leads the Cavs with 28 points per game, 89.7% free throw percentage, and 1.8 steals per game. Meanwhile, Darius Garland leads them with 5.9 assists per game. Now it's time to look at the game recaps. First things first, Cavs against the Mavs. Yeah, say that 10 times fast. Cavs against the Mavericks. Cleveland Cavaliers won 113-110. Always great to see that. What's also great to see, Jared Allen, 24 points and 23 rebounds. My heavens. That is impressive. What's also impressive is that Karis LeVert had 29 points off the bench. My goodness. And Georges Niang had 16 off the bench. Meanwhile, the Mavericks star player, Luka Doncic, had 39 points, while Seth Curry had 19 points and 5 threes. Dante Exum had 13 points and 6 assists, a former Cavalier who is now with Dallas. I'd just like to say the Cavs were down 20 and came back to win, which is always a great sight to see. And the Cavs out-rebounded Dallas by 20. Sorry about that, folks. And now it's time for the Cavs against the Bucks. At the Rock, Cavs lost that one 119-111. Jared Allen had 30 points and 12 rebounds. And Donovan Mitchell 34 points and 9 assists. Meanwhile, Giannis Antetokounmpo, say that 10 times fast as well. 34 points, 16 rebounds. And Damian Lillard 31 points. Cavs are up by 15 in the second quarter. And the Cavs committed 9 less turnovers than the Bucks. And then last night, the Cavs against the Raptors, where the Cavs played the Raptors, of course, and the Cavs ultimately lost 124-121 to the team that lost to the Pistons. Yeah, the Pistons won a game. Who would have thought it? They ended their 28-game losing streak by stunning the Raptors. But unfortunately, the good old Cavaliers could not do anything to stop those Raptors, which is kind of embarrassing, come to think about it. But what's not embarrassing was Karis LeVert's game because he had 31 points off the bench and shot 60%. And Sam Merrill's a sharpshooter. He had 16 points and 4 threes in the ball game. So there was that in the game tonight, or last night. And Donovan Mitchell, 26 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, and 4 steals. Not too shabby. Meanwhile, Pascal Siakam had a grand total of, 36 points, 5 rebounds. While Jacob Poeltl, had, let's think now, 16 points and 11, that's Jared Allen. 14 points and 11 rebounds. And looking at everything right here, looking at the summary of things, both teams shot 48.3% from field goal percentage, which is kind of hard to believe. And the Cavs had 6 less free throws made compared to the Raptors and 4 less rebounds. So there was that. Now it's time for everyone's favorite part of the show, Tommy's picks. That's right, let's get those picks up and running, because it was another eventful week in high school boys basketball 2 weeks ago and the NFL. St. Ignatius beat the tar out of Maple Heights 90-45. Brunswick beat Highland, unfortunately, 72-59. Well, it was a good game nonetheless. And the good guys took down Nordonia 54-48. And Brush beat Wardsville Heights 62-58. And Euclid beat Gilmore Academy 66-51, while the Lutheran East won over Cleveland Heights 67-47. And Lutheran West, the Longhorns beat the Tar Blooders of Glenville 67-27. The Boardman Spartans took down the Blue Devils of Talmadge by a score of 61-48. And a high-scoring overtime game, Riverside beat University 87-86. And then Fairview beat Lake Catholic 74-58. Padua beat Holy Name 69-67. North Ridgeville beat Westlake 68-54. Midview beat Valley Forge 73-63. And of course, Revere beat Mayfield 68-65. Now time for high school girls basketball. Brunswick beat Amherstfield 57-48, courtesy of Journey Hildebrand going absolutely bananas on the court. She scored like a good chunk of their points, more than half their points, I believe. I think she set some Brunswick records. I believe she's playing for Kent next year, which is hard to believe. And then she did it again the next night when Journey scored like 20-some-odd points against us to beat us 61-50. But don't worry, folks. The Highland Hornets still beat Massillon Perry last Saturday night by a score of I actually forget what the score was. But more importantly, Coach James Madison, let's give a round of applause for Coach James Madison because the former Cleveland State standout won his 100th game. That's right, his 100th game as head coach of the Highland Hornets, which makes him up top the leaderboard. Not all the way up, but still high up the leaderboard in Medina County history. So congratulations to Coach Bassett, a great man. He loves Highland. He loves basketball. He loves everything. And I'm pretty sure you all know that by now. Strongsville beat Berea Mid Park 55-36. Wadsworth beat Lakewood 46-36. Avon beat Lorraine 67-42. So North Olmsted beat Midview 54-53. And then what else happened, you might be wondering. Where was I? Madison beat Nordonia 45-36. Of course, North Olmsted did beat Midview 54-53. Sorry about that, lost my train of thought. And then CCC, I believe it was Canton Central Catholic, took down Cardinal Mooney 51-45. Louisville beat McKinley 55-49. The Green Bulldogs beat the Perry Panthers, I believe, 52-32, while Jackson beat Glen Oak 46-43. Stowe beat Canfield in a low-scoring affair. That one ended up being 34-26, and Boardman beat Talmadge 52-38. And Revere beat Barberton 57-29, while Trinity beat Normandy 51-42. Then the NFL, we had something incredible. The Cleveland Browns are going to the playoffs. Oh my God, I don't believe it. The second time in the last 4 years, the good old Cleveland Browns are going to the playoffs. 37-20, my goodness, that is insane. That is absolutely insane. I still can't believe it. The Browns are so good this year, being 11-5 on the season. That is just unbelievable. What's also unbelievable is that the Browns will be making the playoffs. What's also unbelievable as well is that the refs were horrible when the Cowboys beat the Lions. Well, really, the Cowboys and the refs beat the Lions because Dan Campbell decided to go for two. Got the two-point conversion with a big man two-point conversion. And then the ref said he was ineligible. Why? I don't know. And so Dan Campbell goes for two again. And offsides on Dallas. And then he goes for two again and the guy drops it. Clearly he should have played for overtime, but still, you can't help but think, why did the refs do that? And unfortunately, the Ravens will win the division and clinch home field advantage, so the AFC unfortunately runs through Baltimore. 56-19 trouncing over Miami. Bills are on a 4-game winning streak now, having defeated the Patriots 27-21. While the Bears beat the Falcons 37-17. The Bears have secured the number 1 pick despite holding a 7-9 record. They won't make the playoffs, however, but they have still had a not too shabby season. And they got Carolina's pick. We'll get to the pathetic Panthers in a bit. And then, of course, you have the Texans taking down the Titans, which were my upset, 26-3. Colts beat the Raiders 23-20. And now the pathetic Panthers. Bryce Young is probably going to cry on the sideline now because the Jaguars beat them up 26-0. How about that first overall? Oh, too soon, as Peter Griffin would say it best when he talked to Wallace about talking about his home planet, or her home planet. Oh, too soon. Anyways, oh boy, the Rams beat the Giants 26-25. Rams have secured a playoff spot. And the Arizona Cardinals won a game. They beat the Eagles 35-31. How did the Eagles lose to the Cardinals? They didn't even shut out the Cardinals. Oh, imagine not shutting out the Cardinals. My goodness. Saints beat the Buccaneers 23-13. The Niners have secured number 1 in the NFC, 27-10. And unfortunately, the Steelers won, which means they have another winning season. Why? I had a bad gut feeling this was going to happen again. And a bad gut feeling turned out to be true. 30-23 over Seattle. Broncos beat the Chargers 16-9. Chiefs beat the Bengals 25-17. Chiefs unfortunately won the AFC West. While the Packers keep their slim playoff hopes alive 33-10 over Minnesota. Last week in high school basketball, I won 8-6. I'm 31-13 with 35 points. High school girls basketball 10-5 with 11 points, which means I'm 31-13 with 35 points. And in the NFL, I was 7-9 this week and 8-8 the week prior, which puts me at a pretty marginal 146-113 record with 160 points. Let's get to Tommy's picks. Avon against Olmsted Falls, go with the Eagles. And then the big one, St. Ignatius taking on St. Ed's. Hold everything. This is going to be a good game. The Cleveland Holy War. I got to go with the St. Ignatius Wildcats. But then I think their fun's going to end the next day when Brunswick pulls off an upset at St. Ignatius' place, which is going to be really tough for them to do, but I got a feeling they could do it. And then VASJ will beat Benedictine. Highland against Copley. I got Highland. And a lock of the week the next day when we play Firestone. I think we'll take down Firestone with ease. Twinsburg against Wadsworth, picking the Twinsburg Tigers. Walsh will beat Medina. Jackson over Perry. Magics will beat the Talmadge Blue Devils. And the Woodridge Bulldogs, I think they'll beat Ravenna. And Norton against Field. Well, really, Field hosts Norton, but I'm picking Norton. Holy Name against Valley Forge, picking Holy Name. Padua against Kenton, picking Padua. And listen to this, folks. We got a really good game in the National Conference. That's right. North Royalton taking on the always rough and tough Brecksville Broadview Heights Bees. I'm going with Brecksville, of course. Brecksville, number 5 in Northeast Ohio Zone's top 25, of course. This is an open invitation for Northeast Ohio Zones to start covering girls basketball and D3 action on the collegiate level because it's a lot of fun. I'm just saying. And anyways, Lutheran West will beat St. Vincent St. Mary. St. Vincent St. Mary really struggling this season. They're 3-6 on the campaign. Admittingly, they've taken on tough teams, but still, kind of hard to believe. Next, high school girls basketball. Brunswick against Strongsville, picking Strongsville. McKinley against Green, picking McKinley. Rocky River going to take on Bay. And then Elyria Catholic, McKinley going to beat Green. Rocky River going to beat Bay. Westlake going to take down Elyria Catholic. We're going to beat Aurora tomorrow night. And then Saturday, it's the biggest game of the season, and WHBW will not be there because BW inconveniently plays on a Saturday, the same Saturday as well. But I'll be watching from a distance, watching from afar. I got an upset. Copley may have beat us by 45 last time. This time we're going to make it a little bit different. We've been rocking and rolling as of late. We're 8-3, likely going to be 9-3 heading into this game. Give me those Hornets in an upset. And then Revere against Roosevelt, picking Roosevelt. Lock of the week, the Wadsworth Grizzlies over Twinsburg. Hope it will be Lutheran East, will be a good game. Avon Lake will play St. Vincent St. Mary, but I got the Fighting Irish. And then VASJ will beat St. Joe's. Padua over Lake Catholic. Holy Name against Valley Forge. Lakewood will beat Normandy. Solid will beat Nordonia in some National Conference actions, Suburban League. And last but not least, Stowe will beat Hudson. Now time for the NFL. Ravens against the Steelers on Saturday. I got a bad feeling the Steelers are going to go 10-7 and gasp, make the playoffs. I hope not. That'd be horrible. Colts against the Texans. Picking the Colts. My goodness. That'll be a good game. Lock of the week. Buccaneers against the Panthers. Picking the Buccaneers to destroy and dismantle the Panthers. And then Bengals against the Browns. I don't know if the Browns are going to have their starters in or not, but give me those Browns 12-5, baby. Lions against the Vikings, picking the Vikings. I think the Patriots are going to beat the Jets. Saints over the Falcons. Jaguars will beat the Titans. Seahawks over the Cardinals. Bears against the Packers. That's going to be a good game, but I think the Bears are going to squeak out a win. Chargers against the Chiefs. Chiefs have nothing to play for. They will likely be the 3 seed. I got the Chargers. Raiders against the Broncos, picking the Raiders. And now the upset of the week. Giants will beat the Eagles, the ice-cold Eagles. My goodness, what happened to them? 49ers have nothing to play for, so therefore I'm picking the Rams. Commies against the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys are unfortunately going to win the division. They'll choke in the playoffs, of course, but they're still going to win the division. And then Sunday night, you got the Dolphins against the Bills, picking the Bills. Well, folks, it's not over yet because we got a brand new hit song from yours truly. I'm going to bless your eardrums with a new song. So, Aiden, can you hit it? Brownies to the Super Bowl. 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 We're really good. Better than good. Here we go. 1, Kevin Stefanski. 2, Kevin Stefanski. 3, Kevin Stefanski. 4, Kevin Stefanski. 1, Joe Flacco is gone. 2, Joe Flacco is gone. 3, Joe Flacco is gone. Yeah! Rowdies to the Super Bowl. 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 Yes, this is an original song too. Drowning Pool did not steal it. We're play off bound. We'll win all the rounds. Here we go. 1, Kevin Stefanski. 2, Kevin Stefanski. 3, Kevin Stefanski. 4, Kevin Stefanski. 1, Joe Flacco is gone. 2, Joe Flacco is gone. 3, Joe Flacco is gone. Yeah! Brownies to the Super Bowl. 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 Myles Garrett, Kareem Hunt, Amari Cooper, David Njoku, Jeremiah Elijah Moore. They're not just good, we want more. Brownies to the Super Bowl. 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 Is that all? No, 1, Kevin Stefanski. 2, Kevin Stefanski. 3, Kevin Stefanski. 4, Kevin Stefanski. 1, Joe Flacco is gone. 2, Joe Flacco is gone. 3, Joe Flacco is gone. Yeah! Brownies to the Super Bowl. 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 Browns, Cleveland. Browns, Cleveland. Browns, Cleveland. Browns, Cleveland. And that's it. Told you I was gonna bless your eardrums out there, or curse them depending on what you thought about it. It was probably pathetic, but anyways, you know what it means. It doesn't matter because, I mean, it's the thought that counts. And of course, that song was dedicated to the memory of Frank Ryan, who sadly passed away earlier today, the legendary Browns quarterback, who took the Browns to their latest championship in 1964. He died earlier today, which his presence will certainly be missed. The man with a PhD in, what do you call it? The man with a PhD in math from Rice University, a very smart man. He was 87 years old, same age as Jim Brown was. And of course, the Browns have not just one person to dedicate this season to now, but also two. So we will miss you, Frank Ryan, that's for sure. Thank you so much, Frank Ryan. Thank you so much for listening. Hopefully he'll be looking down on us and watching a Brown Super Bowl championship, as will Jim Brown. Well, folks, that's it. That's all the time we have left. Till next time, I'm Tommy Maroon. Thank you for watching. We will see you next week.
You are watching WCTV, Wadsworth Community Television.